Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into the story of a young man who embodies the modern fusion of legacy and individuality. A story of football royalty carving his own crown. This is the journey of Shilo Sanders, a name that carries the rhythm of greatness and the echo of family heritage, yet beats with its own pulse. He is the son of a legend, the brother of a phenom, and a competitor who's turning his own name into a symbol of grit, faith, and fire. His path has not been one of shortcuts or handouts. It has been one of relentless effort, humility, and a burning desire to prove that while his last name carries history, his first name is writing something entirely new. From the moment Shilo came into the world, he was surrounded by greatness. Being the son of Deion "Primetime" Sanders, one of the most iconic and electrifying athletes in sports history, meant that expectations would forever chase him. In the Sanders household, excellence wasn't just encouraged, it was a standard. It was woven into the air they breathed, into the rhythm of their days. Yet, growing up in that environment didn't make Shilo entitled, it made him hungry. He learned that legacy isn't something you inherit, it's something you protect, refine, and expand. Every conversation, every lesson, every day spent watching his father carry himself with confidence and charisma taught Shilo that greatness requires consistency and character. And even though the world saw the Sanders family as larger than life, Shilo understood that behind every highlight reel was a foundation built on discipline and faith. As a kid, Shilo was already showing signs of the competitor he would become. He had an energy that filled the room, a curiosity that drove him to understand everything about the game, and a sense of humor that made him magnetic to those around him. He attended Trinity Christian School in Cedar Hill, Texas, where his father coached and where he began to truly shape his identity as a football player. Playing under his father wasn't easy. Every mistake, every missed assignment came with lessons not just about football, but about life. Deion wasn't just coaching his son, he was preparing him. He was instilling in him the values that would later define Shilo's journey: work ethic, mental toughness, leadership, and belief in something greater than oneself. At Trinity Christian, Shilo didn't just stand out because of his last name. He earned respect through his performance. He was instinctive, fast, and fearless, reading quarterbacks like a chess player anticipating the next move. As a safety, he carried the heart of a leader, commanding the defense, directing traffic, and setting the tone for his teammates. He was competitive to the core, unafraid of contact, and always looking to make the play that shifted momentum. But what set him apart even more was his composure. In moments of pressure, when other players might get rattled, Shilo seemed to thrive. He had that unteachable calm, that poise that only comes from confidence rooted in preparation. When it came time for college, Shilo made a bold and surprising decision. Instead of following an easy path or staying within the comfort of home, he chose to attend the University of South Carolina. That decision was a statement, a declaration that he wanted to build his own story, separate from the gravitational pull of his father's fame. The SEC is the pinnacle of college football, a place where only the toughest survive, and Shilo walked into that world determined to prove that he belonged. The transition wasn't smooth. He faced challenges, limited opportunities, and moments of doubt. But instead of shrinking from them, he used them as fuel. Every practice, every rep, every minute of film study became another brick in the foundation he was building for himself. He learned that adversity was a teacher, and it taught him resilience. He learned that patience wasn't weakness, it was preparation for greater things. That preparation paid off when faith and fate led him back to family. When Deion Sanders took the head coaching job at Jackson State University, Shilo made the move to join him and his younger brother, Shedeur Sanders, who was emerging as one of the most talented quarterbacks in college football. For Shilo, this wasn't just a transfer, it was a homecoming. It was a spiritual alignment, a moment where everything he had learned, endured, and believed in came together. Jackson State wasn't just a football program, it was a movement. It represented culture, pride, and legacy on a different level. The energy of HBCUs, the sense of community, and the pride of representing something bigger than yourself. All of it resonated deeply with Shilo. At Jackson State, Shilo flourished. He became a defensive enforcer, a tone setter who played every down with passion and purpose. His tackles were statements, his energy contagious, and his leadership invaluable. The fans loved him, his teammates rallied around him, and his father admired the man he was becoming. Shilo wasn't just playing football, he was embodying a mission. He was helping to restore respect and visibility to HBCU programs, showing that elite talent could thrive anywhere, that greatness didn't need to fit into traditional molds. Every game was more than competition. It was a celebration of culture, resilience, and faith. But as much as Shilo's presence lit up the field, it was his personality off of it that truly made him shine. He had his father's charisma, but with a youthful, comedic twist that made him uniquely relatable. He could hype up his teammates one moment and have them laughing the next. He brought lightness to the grind, balance to the pressure, and joy to the locker room. Whether in interviews, vlogs, or team meetings, Shilo radiated authenticity. He was confident, but not arrogant. Funny, but never fake. He embraced the spotlight, but he never lost his humility. That blend of charisma and sincerity made him not only a fan favorite, but also a natural leader. People gravitated to him because he was real, and in a world full of filters and facades, that realness mattered. When Deion made his next big move, taking over the University of Colorado program, Shilo followed. Once again, he was stepping into a situation full of uncertainty and scrutiny. The Buffaloes were rebuilding from the ground up, and the Sanders family arrival brought national attention that few college programs had ever experienced. Critics questioned them, doubters waited for them to fail, and pressure hovered like a storm cloud. But Shilo was unfazed. He'd been here before. The spotlight didn't intimidate him, it motivated him. In fact, it brought out the best in him. At Colorado, Shilo quickly became the emotional core of the defense. He played with ferocity, energy, and intelligence, often reading plays before they even unfolded. His hits were thunderous, his instincts sharp, and his communication clear. But what made him special wasn't just his physicality, it was his heart. He brought leadership that extended beyond the field. He encouraged teammates through adversity, held them accountable, and made sure the locker room stayed united through the chaos. His energy became the pulse of the team, the intangible heartbeat that every successful group needs. And even as the national media dissected every move Colorado made, Shilo stayed grounded. He kept smiling, kept joking, kept believing. Yet, beneath all the fire and flair, there's depth to Shilo Sanders that too many overlook. He's a man of faith, a believer who speaks openly about the role God plays in his life. He's candid about his struggles, transparent about his growth, and unapologetic about who he is. That combination of confidence and humility is rare. He doesn't hide behind perfection. He embraces process. He talks about mistakes not as failures, but as lessons, each one part of a divine plan. That honesty has made him a role model not just for aspiring athletes, but for anyone chasing purpose in a world that often rewards pretense over truth. Through every chapter of his journey, from Trinity Christian to South Carolina, from Jackson State to Colorado, one theme remains constant: evolution. Shilo has evolved not just as a player, but as a person. He's grown into a man who understands that life isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. His growth is a reflection of his upbringing, a family that values faith, discipline, and identity above fame. And as much as people love to compare him to his father and brother, what makes Shilo remarkable is how distinctly he stands apart. Deion revolutionized football with flash and dominance. Shedeur is redefining quarterback play with poise and precision. And Shilo? He's rewriting the blueprint for what it means to embrace legacy without being trapped by it. Off the field, his impact continues to grow. He's become a voice for positivity, a lighthearted personality who brings joy wherever he goes. His social media presence isn't just entertainment, it's influence. He connects with fans in a way that feels genuine, reminding them that athletes are human too. Whether he's cracking jokes, spreading motivation, or simply sharing a glimpse of his life, Shilo's presence resonates because it comes from a place of authenticity. He knows who he is, and he doesn't try to be anything else. What makes Shilo's story truly powerful is that it's still being written. Every practice, every game, every moment adds another chapter. And as he continues to chase greatness, one thing remains clear: his journey is not about escaping the shadow of his father, but about expanding it. He's carrying the Sanders legacy into a new era, showing the world that greatness can look different, sound different, and feel different while still being deeply connected to its roots. He's the modern representation of what it means to be both a legacy and a leader, both inspired by the past and driven by the future. Shilo Sanders isn't just Deion's son or Shedur's brother. He's a force all his own, a man defined by faith, fueled by passion, and guided by purpose. He plays the game with emotion because he loves it deeply, but he lives with balance because he understands that football, like life, is fleeting. His perspective is rare. He knows that his influence goes beyond the field, that his example can impact countless others chasing their own dreams. And that awareness shapes everything he does. He's not just chasing success, he's chasing significance. As he continues to grow, to learn, and to evolve, one truth remains. When the lights shine brightest, Shilo Sanders doesn't fade. He steps forward. He leads. He believes. He's living proof that legacy isn't about inheriting greatness. It's about earning it every single day. His journey is one of transformation, faith, and undeniable purpose. And whether you're watching him on Saturdays or listening to him speak off the field, one thing's certain: Shilo Sanders is building something real, something lasting, something entirely his own. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this tribute to Shilo Sanders, a player who represents grit, growth, and greatness, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories about athletes redefining what it means to chase legacy.